everyone, welcome back to another video. So I put up a poll, I think it was a week ago, what kind of videos you guys would like to watch. What is something that is going to help you, and just trying to see what you guys like to hear more about. I've been just looking at so many things related to content, and I was thinking that maybe it's a great idea to put up a poll so that you can see and pick what kind of things you guys are resonating with, what you guys are going through in this stage of your life. And most of you have commented and said that you want to know more about emotional regulation, more about how to regulate yourself, and feeling calm in times of stress, or in times where you don't have so much time to actually sit down and regulate. So what I would really suggest is that to really take time to understand your emotions and take time to really benefit from just exploring it, instead of I need to fight, or I need to run away, or need to escape. Because in this society right now, so many people are escaping from their emotions, and that turns into unhealthy habits, that turns into unhealthy relationships, and you develop this lifestyle where there's not much to do and there's no sense of purpose, aliveness, vitality. So in there's so many years of trying to understand myself and understanding my emotions, what I truly realize is that you cannot really heal from something, you cannot really understand something without becoming curious about it. And in trying to understand your emotions, it's not really to judge your emotions, it's not to really sit there and be like, oh, why am I feeling that way, or like I shouldn't be feeling that way. And there's this almost shame to feeling the way that you're feeling. Instead of doing that, or instead of saying that, we try to bring in awareness first, right? So the first step is to bring your awareness to it. Bring your awareness to what are some things that are causing you to feel that, right? And not really identifying it in a certain way where you want to push it away. Because when you're again identifying with an emotion, you tend to push it away and maybe procrastinate, maybe try to pile yourself throughout your day so that you don't feel that emotion, right? Whether if it's you're feeling sad, whether you're feeling angry. And what as humans tend to do is that we just disconnect from that feeling. We disconnect from the experience itself because we think it doesn't really matter. It all stems from the roots of what's the point of feeling this, or what's the point of my life. We start to think so much thoughts, and we start to think about solutions to our emotions. Instead of trying to look for solutions for emotions, is to actually just be aware, to bring your awareness. Can you be still with it? And one of the exercises that you can do, sit silently by just observing it, right? Even in moments where you are in a rush and you might not have so much time to do a lot of things, you would say, I don't have time, or the excuse of I don't know where to start. And everybody thinks maybe this emotional regulation thing as like I need to do so much to not feel. It's actually the opposite. It's in the midst of what's going on in your life, what can you do in the moment, right? What is a tool that you can rely on? One of the tools that I use is to meditate. And that starts with, just silently, for example, closing your eyes and just observing your breath, listening to your breath, because there is no thought present while you are listening to your breath. So anytime that you are sitting to meditate, or maybe you're someone who doesn't meditate, or you're not used to it, you would then sit there and there are so many thoughts that come up. just know and realize that this is normal, right? So it's okay that a thought pops up. It's okay that something stirs up in your body, or maybe not even just something that goes in your head or a thought, but a sensation might pop up in your body, you know, whether it's tingling, whether it's tightness in your chest. It can be in your throat. Maybe your throat chakra is closed. So there might be so many areas in your body where your energy centers are closed, which is why you cannot really be in the presence of yourself without having any distractions. As you're sitting in your meditation posture, there may be a thought of, what am I doing here? Why is this happening? What am I feeling here? And you might not really understand it, right? So the minute that you start noticing the thought come up of, why am I feeling that way? It's your mind kicking in and it's trying to intellectualize. It's trying to, put in words of what's happening in your own experience. So sit there and notice it. That would be like the first step of like sitting, noticing, just kind of like opening your palms to receiving whatever that comes in your way, and really to not judge whatever that comes up, because any emotion is actually an indicator of something deeper within. Because you can sit there and identify with so many things that might have been, happening, or why you're feeling a certain way. Maybe somebody said something and that wasn't pleasant. It can be really anything from that. So it's to really sit there and observe what was happening and kind of send in compassion and just, become the presence of those emotions and not fight them and not judge them, but just to validate it. So validation can look something like, I know that I'm feeling this and it's absolutely valid for me to feel it right now, and connecting to it, even if you were to talk to yourself internally and saying like, I am safe to feel this emotion. If it was anger that was suppressed, if it was sadness that was suppressed, it's validating first, right? And, sending messages to yourself and confirming that it is safe to feel this and that there's nothing wrong or bad about feeling any of that, right? Like whether it was anger that was suppressed, maybe you were told as a child that you cannot be so sad or cannot be angry, you cannot feel, depressed, or for whatever reason that you may have considered escaping your emotions. Number 2, which is really one of my favorite ways, is to journal down, right? Journal what thoughts you're having. Journal about the emotion. You can even, pull up your journal or a book or a paper and begin to identify. Maybe you can write every emotion down, like for example, sadness, and then you write down, what is your relationship with sadness? What do you think about sadness? And I'm not sure if you watched the movie Inside Out. So these are like characters, right? They made the emotions as characters, and that's, a beautiful way to explain it. It's actually one of my favorite movies to explain emotions. So think of it this way. Journal down some of the emotions that you tend to escape from, right? Journal it down and then write your explanation about it. So what is your relationship like with sadness? What is your relationship like with anger? What is your relationship like with stress? What is your relationship with guilt, fear, hurt? And just begin to list it down and tick the ones that you feel most resistant towards. And these ones, the ones that you feel resistant towards, are the ones you must work to uncover what's deeper there. Why is it so difficult for you to be with it? What has happened in the past that made you want to suppress it? Number 3 is to also pay attention to whenever your body needs a break. Whenever you feel like it's too much, things are getting out of the way, you feel like you stress most of the time, you're not able to communicate to yourself even what's happening, so you might go into unhealthy habits, maybe overeating, maybe even excessive exercise. That could be one. Another great one is to do anything, like overworking, for example. That's a very common one. So in any of those, if you have that in your life, and if these patterns keep recurring, it just sends signals to you that you need a break, and that it's okay to have a break, and then you can come back to whatever you're working on, to regenerate, to recharge, because it's really important to notice yourself when you're beginning to shut down, because it also explains why maybe you're not doing enough at work, or maybe you're not energized, or you don't feel quite focused in whatever you're doing. So that might be lack of sleep, lack of rest, and so many other factors as well. And the last one I would say is to talk to somebody. If it was a friend, if it was a family member, or maybe consider therapy. I know therapy had done wonders for me, and it has brought me to a state where I'm able to face myself when things are rough, when I don't like something in myself. I'm able to work through it, whether it's through cognitive behavioral therapy, which is something I learned in my sessions. It works so amazing to identify if a thought is actually true. Is there evidence to back that belief or that thought? Or was it something because of a terrifying experience? Like if I had fear of speaking up, or fear of being around people, which I currently don't. I used to have it a lot in the past. So what's in the current moment that I am experiencing that I can send in love, that I can send in compassion? So it's also questioning, like, are the thoughts that I'm believing right now true? Or is it coming from a past experience? When you begin to question and have reflection, just have reflective moments, reflect on what's happening, reflect on your day, and just shut down anything else that is not really serving you, like any noise from outside, anything that you think is just a distraction from yourself, is something to be really curious and also considerate, because anything that is around you that you think you're just escaping from yourself, it's actually not a healthy way to live your life. Because imagine living your whole life just escaping, but it's like wherever you go, there you are, and there is nobody, nothing, no experience that can lead you to becoming or feeling differently by then choosing now that, okay, I accept that this is what's happening. What needs to be done? What is something I can control? What is something that I can't control? Because honestly, if you focus so much on what you can control, it is going to bring a lot of stress in your life. It's going to make you feel so tired, lethargic, and kind of even questioning your purpose in life. So instead of that, it's becoming, super honest with what's going on in your life, accepting your situation. So when I say acceptance, it doesn't mean being okay with it. Doesn't mean it's going to be the same forever. It just means that you're accepting it currently as it is. That's the reality, and you face it as it is. That's acceptance. The next step, right, is to decide, how is this affecting me in my life, and how can I bring about change in this in my life? You can take that, this can be an example of anything in your life, whether it was a relationship that is not healthy for you, whether it was a career, whether it was you going after what you truly desire. It's in the question of, am I willing to change this, and how much this is costing me, how much this is affecting me in my life. So there's so much things that you can think of when it comes to identifying the areas and the things that you have in control, and you can be grateful for what you can change. and whatever you can change with it, which is like other people and what they say, what they think about you, is just something that, you know, you can't really change, because people are people, and you have your own personality. People have their own personality. So it's in that acceptance that you feel that peace within yourself, because if you're sort of always like escaping and trying to manage everything, try to be perfect, and when things go down, you kind of maybe retreat, you attack yourself, and these things can really affect your self-esteem in the long run. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's short and it's simple. There's nothing much to think about. It's just really using the tools that you have right now without making it so complicated, because sometimes, you know, our mind is complex and it likes to make things, it likes to take one thing and make it 10 complicated things, and these 10 complicated things then turn out to be the actual stress in life. So instead of trying to, you know, paint it in a beautiful way, when it is really just simple as, okay, this is the reality of it, this is what's happening, how can I send in compassion, but also what can I take responsibility of right now? Not living from the past and not thinking about the future, but what is right now available to me so that I can change my current situation. Just something to really reflect upon, and don't be really hard with yourself. You know, it takes time to understand emotions. It takes time to kind of letting go, shedding away, and not living from your past, but try to be curious, try to understand, try to be gentle with parts of you that you are hard with. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was, you know, insightful for you to look at, and, you know, just use whatever tools you have, whatever resources, and this video is, you can use it as a resource as well, or you can do your own research. But I really appreciate your time and support, and for being here and listening and watching. I see every single comment, and I really see you guys. Like and subscribe and share it with someone you think might benefit, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.